Welcome to Monday Mindfulness. Today, I'd like to cover facial awareness meditation. Now, this is a really powerful meditation that can also link to our emotional state. If you've ever seen the show Lie to Me, they do a lot of exploring of the different micro expressions and the little details that happen when we feel an emotion or when a situation happens. And it's very, very interesting to build our sensitivity in many areas, and one area is in the way that the face responds. So we can actually do practices to help build our awareness of the face that can help richen the whole picture of awareness of the whole human experience. And you might notice that it can be a bit hard to see what my face is doing under the beard. I promise you there's stuff going on there. And it can be really, really interesting to start to understand or see even the way that the face responds in certain situations. And being aware of the face can also give us cues to notice when something's happening emotionally in the body. I noticed when yesterday I was carrying something, I wasn't really sure about something, and the way I noticed that I was carrying that without consciously thinking about it was I noticed my face had this like feeling of pulling to the right and not really being like wanting to go like not really certain about something. And from that facial expression I was like, oh yeah, there's something there that wants to be looked at. So I could actually consciously acknowledge that and make a conscious choice and an action where I could really explore that and settle it. So this is a way to kind of get a whisper of what the body's communicating before it needs to get too loud. So it's one in many ways to be aware of what's happening in this body. Emotional awareness is something that we'll do as a seated practice through the face today. And then we'll do like a face scan where we notice how different emotions feel through the face. And then we'll look at maybe where the eyes want to go as well, like what is motivating that eye movement as well. Is there something that the eyes are looking for in a particular motion? They've got a great way of guiding our intention, or when we're thinking about something, we tend to track and fascinate the eyes with what we're thinking about too, or going into different corners depending on what we're thinking about as well. And these all have emotional connections. And while on the surface they can go past on autopilot without being looked at, in consciousness, in a mindfulness practice, we can use it as a cue to be able to really open to the emotional state that it's showing us as well. So it means that it's no longer on autopilot. It means that we're consciously aware of what the body is communicating to us. And then from doing a seated practice, we could either use reminders or just building the habit of bringing attention to it through the day so we become more aware in our everyday life of how our emotional body is communicating, what are our facial cues saying, and what is happening through the face, and what ways in the face communicate to you more. I feel that especially around this area of my face, around the mouth, I do a lot of my holding and communicating of emotions. Some people may communicate with different parts of their emotions more. I feel sometimes I communicate a lot through the forehead. So there's many, many ways to do this. And what I'd like to start with is a little bit of a warm-up, just to kind of build sensitivity in the face, but also to warm it up, like give it a bit of a shake. Give it a bit of a massage. Just noticing what that forehead feels like, what those eyes feel like, the cheeks, the mouth area, this hair-covered chin of mine, what does that feel like? And we're just going to sit in a place where we can feel comfortable, eyes open or closed. And we're going to just notice what's happening in our face as different emotions come up. Excuse me. So to begin with, just noticing how it feels to have a face. Like, what is really happening here? Is there something in particular that grabs my attention? Is it the forehead, cheeks? Is it the outside of the mouth, inside of the mouth? Is it the eyes? Are they wanting to track and focus on something in particular? What are they looking for in that? Just noticing what it's like to have a face. Is there tension anywhere in particular? I notice a little bit of tension above my right cheek here. And just noticing what the face feels like as our emotions shift now. So if you bring your awareness to something that concerns you, that really doesn't make you happy, noticing how the face changes when you think about that. Notice how the emotions change. Notice any connection between the face and those emotions. Notice the forehead, how that feels. Notice the eyes, what are they wanting to do? Notice the cheeks. Are they holding? Are they pulling in any direction? Noticing the mouth and how that feels to be a bit uncomfortable. Noticing the chin. Just noticing this emotion and the face again. And then taking a breath, allowing the face to relax, allowing the emotional body to relax, just being neutral again. And then noticing something that makes you really happy, something that makes your face naturally smile. Noticing the emotions there, noticing how the face responds. Staying with it, noticing how that dynamic may change. Noticing how the forehead feels here. The eyes, what are they wanting to do? The cheeks all the way from the nose to the ears, what are they doing? The mouth, how does that want to behave right now? What emotions is it connected to? And the chin, noticing what's happening there. And taking another big deep breath. You can close your eyes down if you want to, it's your choice. And just allowing the face to sit neutral for a second. And now bringing your awareness to something that makes you feel a little bit unconfident, an area where there's that unknown, and just a space where you don't know, that you're not super confident in, where you have to surrender to not knowing. Noticing how that feels emotionally. Noticing how the face responds to that. Noticing if the face feels in alignment or out of alignment there. Is there parts that want to react one way and other parts that want to react another? Noticing what's happening in the forehead. Noticing what's happening in the eyes when there's unknown. Noticing what the cheeks are doing. Is there any emotions connected there? Noticing what the mouth is doing. And noticing what the chin is doing. And taking a long, deep breath. Allowing that to just reset and relax the face again. And now we're going to bring our awareness to feeling of confidence and stability. Something that you feel confident and stable in. Notice how that stability feels, how that emotion feels, how the face connects and works with that emotion. Noticing how that feels in the forehead. Noticing how it feels in the eyes. Noticing that stability in the cheeks. Noticing it in the mouth. Noticing how that feels. And noticing how it feels in the chin. And now we're going to bring our awareness to the breath again, taking a long deep breath. Allowing that face to rest and reset. And now noticing something that you're really, really passionate about, something that makes you super excited, something that drives you, something that you really want to share. And noticing how that feels through the emotions, through the face. Noticing how that sits in the forehead. Noticing how it is in the eyes. Notice how your passion comes through in the cheeks. Noticing how the mouth feels about that passion. And noticing how the chin responds. And really feeling that connection between the emotion and the face as we take a long deep breath And reset, relax the face again. Now, this is a practice that you can use whenever you feel like really checking in and re-engaging with the face and noticing what's happening there. And I can help you a little bit just now. Like, what do you feel? How's your face responding to that? What about, hey? How's your face responding to that? Did you notice any automatic reactions going on there? Some microscopic little responses that were happening? That's an interesting way that we can play with it in pairs as well. This is an amazing practice to do in pairs. It's a lot of fun. We end up doing a lot of laughing meditation in the process as well. So this is something that we can really start to build an awareness of and can really give us great clues to what's happening in the rest of our system. The face is phenomenal, and it's amazing how naturally it just flows with the emotional body. You can set a timer from time to time if you want to, that just lets you check in with, what is my face telling me right now? What's happening emotionally from there? And you may just decide to check in from time to time as you're going about your day as well. So this is an exercise that I absolutely love. It tends to be more of a walking practice than a sitting practice, but I love sharing this in mindfulness classes, especially in groups. So thank you so much for your time. I'm really glad we could share this together. And I hope you and your face have an amazing week. Questions, feedback, responses, jokes, whatever you want to share, down in the comments. And thank you so much for your time. Ciao.